Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You live again our radio Apni Awaz and with the AJ and Ahmed podcast that we normally do distribute online. Uh, uh, and once again, we're with our chief reporter who on this current affairs show, Abdul Jabbar. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
We
salam.
now had the introduction. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I think we
Oh,
had
yeah,
a pretty. Our schedule is pretty full.
I think
And sometimes it does, there's loads of things happening and we need to fit things in 1 hour, so it can get a bit disruptive.
have you been overwhelmed by a lot of these things that have happened in
Yeah.
the last 2 days? 2 weeks, sorry, 2 weeks. It's just been on, one after the other. You're seeing, hearing, and watching the news, and it's devastating. Obviously, the wars have been
Yeah,
devastating.
no, especially with the Iran, America illegal war on Israel. Then we've got what do you call another horizon with a war in Pakistan and Afghanistan for some reason happening. I think that is pretty distressing, pretty disruptive, especially within the Muslim world, the so-called Muslims.
Yeah.
Am I okay with saying the so-called Muslim world, because at the moment they're fighting with each other?
Well, you're not saying obviously what you're saying is the Muslim majority countries, isn't it? So the Muslims are in majority, but they're not as practicing as they should be. It's by name only. So that's the problem, which is that if they were doing by Islam, then it would be a good society. People would not cheat in the marketplaces. They wouldn't be able to, the kind of things that we think, obviously the Islam allows and does not allow in Mamalat. So even though people are praying, the Mamalat, so one could say, look, the Muslim by in Ibadat and Jahil in Mamalat. So I'm talking about, like, obviously all the laws and the societies that we have, they're not perfect. Actually, they're the opposite of what Islam says. They take rishwat. From top to bottom, there's corruption taking place, and we can only, what can we do to change that? I think that's a good question to start with. But like you're saying, the Pakistan-Afghanistan war, this is not new. This has been taking place, for over a century. When Durand line was being penciled or put into place, this left two sides. Durand, one of mainly the Pathan or the Pashtun side on one side, on the other side were tribal areas of Pakistan. There was the population was that they were both from the same families, and the tribes and the people used to visit each other. There was no border.
I think it display of the Pashtun and Baluch people, shall we say.
Yeah.
But obviously, with Islam, we shouldn't see distinction. We should see that people are free to practice religion, and now there is a more important goal to reach, and people should avoid having obviously, I think people should be known by their family names as well. But I think it's Quranic, because that's how God created in tribes, and so in that sense, it is good. But for unity, and if everybody was separated, we'll have small states where, for example, the United States or Russia will just and Gulf just take over. But yeah, with this, we know about the Iran war, and we know Iran is actually doing a good job of actually financially. They should outrun the UAE and other countries, the US, Israel, by sending their cheap drones that are being attacked by. Some of the drones are 35 to 50 grand dollars, should we say, and it's costing him to shoot it down $203 million. So
one of the Patriot missiles costs.
That's how much the cost. But anyway,
Yeah.
this Pak-Afghan war, is it still happening?
As far as I know, it's an open war that's taking place. This is Khwaja Asif who mentioned or said, look, we are now at an open war with Afghanistan. And what does that mean? Basically, it means that you as a Pakistan country, you have to then ask all the Afghanis to leave from Pakistan, especially those who have no ID cards or public papers. You are telling them to leave. But this is like, the thing is, you are fighting people who you can't see. They are involved in guerrilla warfare. The thing is, how do you stop this from taking place? Because these people use people's emotions and stuff like that to recruit more people. So basically, how did America deal with when they were dealing with terrorism or dealing with insurgencies, or Europe was dealing with the what do you call it, terrorism? You have to make some kind of peace treaty. This happened with in Ireland. It happened in Second World War. It happened in the First World War. So the thing is, if and it's obviously if is the big if, because we don't know who's behind these attacks. If they stop completely for a certain amount of time and they never happen again, then there's a chance that peace could be talked to. Peace can happen.
Right. I think, is there any countries, because we know for Ukraine, Saudi Arabia got involved. We know for Qatar and other countries that got involved in the previous Oman.
Mm-hmm.
But is there anybody getting involved for the Pakistan and Afghanistan thingy? We
So-
know India's involved, but that's to probably prop up Afghanistan. But is anybody that is saying peace should prevail, that we're here to help with mediation? I've not heard it.
So what did Trump say? He says, look, if they're fighting, let them carry on. Towards to the similar.
So that's fine. So obviously with these orders, we can carry on. I'm saying using the V, but Shahbaz Sharif has got the green light. But I think when Donald Trump says stop the war, which previously Shahbaz Sharif says should receive a Nobel Peace Prize, I think then he will stop the war. Is that right?
Yeah. So Pakistan is not really an independent country. Its foreign policy, therefore, is not independent as well. It's controlled. Right?
But this is supposed to be a super powerful country as a nuclear nation.
And so what about foreign policy then?
Well, the foreign policy definitely doesn't seem
What
like
is foreign policy?
is matching what they are capable of for some reason.
The Americans dictate what their foreign policy is, what their economic policy is, through the global structure, global system. All countries have to abide by what the global ruling-based order was. So IMF can come to Pakistan and say, look, increase the price of petrol, and it has to. That's what's happened now. So they're saying it's about war, but it's not.
Apparently Pakistan has got a supply of oil left. I don't know if you know that. Even though they must be getting it still illegally from Iran. I'm using the word illegally because Donald Trump, the US have said you cannot get oil from Iran. I know.
So
he is getting the
basically,
oil.
yeah. So a lot of mostly might come from Saudi or the Gulf countries. But what it is this Afghanistan-Pakistan issue. It's turned into an open war. So America's going to be, obviously America and India, Israel will be happy because they're enemies of Pakistan. They want a war to take place, and for Pakistan to be weakened. So if I'm India or Israel or America, and I know Pakistan's got nukes, and it could be a threat if somebody else takes over, what they called as extremists take over. This is clearly the way stated. It's nothing that I'm making up from the top of my head. Recently, one of the Americans said that anyone who wants to wants Islam to be included in their country as a constitution and into their policies, we can't allow that from happening. I mean, they're not talking about in Europe or America. They're talking about in the Muslim majority countries. You cannot have your own say on this.
They want to allow it. I think it's the deputy of Department of War person. Something set. But yeah, well, we know the dodgy policies and the current legal wars that they're going, and the underhand dealings. I think the Muslim nations need to come together. I think we need to send a message of unity, because other than North Africa, the rest of the Muslim world is in chaos. What's the message of unity? Because
unity is a must. I mean, the thing is, if you don't unify and you keep fighting each other amongst yourselves, then you're not going to get unity, you're not going to get progress, you're not going to be able to resolve your issues. I mean, if you look at once we were divided, we already are. So somebody's got oil, somebody's got population, somebody's got agriculture, and all these assets are so much wanted by the West and other, colonial countries. So why are these these countries not helping each other? Why is Pakistan not able to buy oil from Iran? Why is the food basket of Pakistan support those famines where famine is taking place? Why is this was the situation after when you had the Islamic system, you had organization. You were able to organize people's affairs. You made sure that every individual has a right to, roti, kapra, makan, meaning you had the basic necessities. And the energies and huge resources, they were under public property. They were public property, meaning the state would manage them and they would benefit the whole of the ummah.
I think just the last thing we'll probably add is, India, for example, now, Donald Trump has said, the US said, you are allowed to take sanctioned oil from Russia. Because of this war in Iran, because India is saying, where are we going to get the oil from? Because that's our thingy. We get it from Iran. Even though Pakistan is scared to get it off Iran and Russia. But I think previously they're getting it from Russia as well.
Yeah.
So now they can openly, without any sanctions, 50% sanctions or without tax or VAT on India, they can easily get thingy. So this is funny that when things change, how they can capitulate, how they can change for the benefit of others. But remember what happened to Imran Khan? They got rid of him when they tried to say, we want Russian oil. I think you should leave it as that, because I think we're going to get too in depth and we're going to get majorly sidetracked.
Jazakallah to our viewers and yourself.
Thank you. I think it's always good to mention that we're doing this on a voluntary basis and we're doing it to let people know about what's going on in the world. Take care. God bless. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.